So the next thing I want to show you is how to use shortcodes in the landing template. So within any content section, you'll see that blue plus sign in your content editor, your WYSIWYG editor. If you click that, there's a drop down that says select a shortcode. And you have different categories. So the first category is a column shortcode. So you can add in 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 1/3 column and 2/3 column, and vice versa, 2/3 column and 1/3 column. Also, you can add in different size buttons, small button, medium button, and large button. And then also for the other, you can even drop in the current year. This is really good for like updating your footer if you always need to have the current year to display. So for testing purposes, let's go ahead and add in a 2-column shortcode. So I just click it and make sure it's selected and click insert. And as you can see, it already entered in our shortcode code for us. So wherever it says content, we can just replace that with any content that we have. So we can say, this is my first piece of content. And down here, this will be the second column. You can say, this is my second piece of content. And now we can just click update. And let me refresh in front end of my website. So you can see that this section is actually showing 2 columns. This is the first one. This is my first piece of content. This is my second piece of content. So going back, we can delete all of this. Let's go ahead and add in a new shortcode. Let's do a 2/3 and 1/3 column. So we can edit this content here. We can say that this is my 2/3 column. This is a really cool column. All right. And then we can edit the 1/3 column. We can just say this is my 1/3 column. And now we can just click update and refresh. Now you can see this takes 2/3 of the column right here. This takes 1/3 of the column. So going back, let's add in a button underneath those columns. Or actually, let's do this. Let's add in a button on the 1/3 column down below. So let's click the shortcode button, and we're going to add in a medium button. Let's click insert. So now with your medium button shortcode, which is right here, it's also inside your 1/3 column shortcode, we can update where it says link text. We can just say click me. And then where it says button link URL, we can have this go to, let's say, http www.google.com. And that's it. Let's click update. Refresh. And we see our button that says click me. And if I click it, it takes me to google.com. Awesome. And last but not least, let's go ahead and add in the current year. Insert. And that's pretty much it with get year. No additional customizations needed. We can even put a little bit of text in front of that and say the current year is, all right, click update. And let's refresh. Current year is 2013. So actually, in recording, the current year is 2013, if any of you guys are wondering. That's pretty much it with shortcodes. As we progress with the template, we'll probably add some more shortcodes to the master shortcode list, which is right here. But just a quick crash course in shortcodes. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up your theme options. To do that, go to Appearance, Theme Options. I'm going to explain the General tab. So in the General tab, it controls things like your logo, which if I go to the front page of my website, you can see you can upload a logo here. You can also toggle on or off the scroll to top button or icon, which is, when I scroll down, it pops up right here in the right hand corner. If I click it, it scrolls to the top of my web page. You can change the global link color. So if I scroll down to a section where I have the hyperlink, I can change the color on initial display. So let's do that now. We'll change it to red. And then the link hover color, let's change that to blue. And I want to save my changes. Hit refresh. So now my link is red right now, and if I hover over it, it turns blue. You also have control over your button background color and then your button background color when you hover over it. So again, let's change this color to yellow. Let's do a darker yellow. And then we'll change it to purple color. And hit Save Changes. If I refresh my website, you can now see that all the buttons turn the yellow color. If I hover over it, it turns purple. Same thing down here in the price box. It's yellow right now. If I hover over it, it turns purple. And also I can change my button text color. So let's try this black color. Hit save. I refresh my website. So now the color in the button text is black everywhere. So that's our general tab of features. Next, let's browse the navigation tab. So navigation tab affects everything within your navigation. So yeah, this area is called navigation effects. So right now we have navigation effect is no effect. So if I scroll up to the top of my website, it's nothing too new about this type of a header. It stays at the top when you scroll down. Nothing out of the norm. So now if I change the effect to sticky and click Save Changes and I refresh, as you can see, it actually sticks to the top of my web browser. And since I'm logged in, it kind of cuts it off a little bit because of the WordPress admin bar. But if I try a new browser where I'm not logged into, we can probably see this effect just a little bit better. So now I'm in a new browser where I'm not logged into WordPress, and as you can see, it looks a lot better. As you scroll down, you can see that the menu actually sticks to the top of the web page, which is what we want. Okay, so going back to our theme options, we can change the background color of our navigation menu. We can switch that to red. Hit Save Changes. I refresh, you can see that it has turned red now. Alright, going back, I'm going to switch that back to white. That red was a little bit harsh. We can also assign it a background image if you have a background image you wanted to put in the navigation area. We can also change the navigation link color. Right now it's black, and actually what it will do is change the actual non-hover state of the navigation link to whatever color you select. So in this case, let's switch this to red. And now I'm going to hit Save Changes. Hit refresh. So now our links are actually red. Going further down the list, you have navigation link color active. So right now, the link color active is set to green. We can change that color as well by toggling this value. Let's switch it to blue. Save changes. Refresh. So now the color is blue. So going further down the list, we can change the drop down background color. Let's switch it to a dark blue as well. I can save that. So if I hit refresh, hover over my drop down, now it's blue. Going back to my options, we can even change the drop down link color. So I can switch that to white and hit save changes. Refresh. So now my links are actually white in my drop down. And we can also change the drop down link color active as well. Let's go ahead and make that yellow. Save changes. And let's check out the front end. See, it turns yellow. Let's go back to our options again. And we can also change the drop-down background color active. Let's switch that to red. Save changes. Refresh. We can actually change the highlighted color of the background to red. And there's another option, and it is the drop-down bottom color. Can't forget that. Let's switch that to, let's say it is bright blue, aqua blue. Okay, hit refresh. So now, if you can see at the very bottom, this horizontal line that goes left to right, that's actually the color that we selected there. Okay. So going back to navigation effects, we can even hide our main menu if you don't want to show a main menu at all in your template. So save changes and refresh. Our main menu is gone now. Okay. Let's turn it back on. All right, so now the newsletter drop-down set of options. So the newsletter mode allows you to turn on or toggle the newsletter slide down menu, so you can turn it on or off. The newsletter embed code, this is for your MailChimp when you want to have your user sign up for MailChimp newsletters. You would paste in your newsletter code there. You can also change the background color of the newsletter slide drop-down button. When you click it, newsletter background image, you can assign a background image to your newsletter slide down. You can also change your newsletter heading title, your newsletter heading color, and also the newsletter below header content. You can change all that information. So for the time being, let's go ahead and add in a newsletter section into our template. So going back to my home page, let's go to collapse fields, add a new content section, newsletter. Save it. I'm going to refresh my template. So if I go to my newly created newsletter section, I didn't give it any text, but if I click it, I get this slide down menu. And going back, I can I can turn it on or off. So if I turn it off, hit save, go back and hit refresh. If I click the button, the newsletter slide down does not appear. So let's turn it back on. For the heading title, we can just say our heading. The heading color, I'll leave that to white, and we can just say sign up for our promotions today. Save changes. Now if I go back and refresh my page, now if I click the drop down button, you see that our heading has been put into that section, and also the sign up for our promotion today is there. And here's our generated newsletter input when we use the newsletter input MailChimp code, and we stuck it into this section here. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the newsletter section. So let's go down to the footer section. So footer section is pretty plain and simple. You can assign it a background color, a background image, which is assigned already. You can even assign a footer logo down below. And we have an area for copyright, so you can put your copyright in here. We have a shortcode get year to automatically pull in the year. And then we also have an area where you can put in social media icons or even more content down below. So if we go to our front end of our website and hit refresh, you see that it's showing our footer logo down below, and it shows our copyright. This is the get year 2013, and then here's our social media icons. Hopefully this short tutorial can help you with your theme options.